Hello, third graders. Here I am to read your worksheet about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He is super awesome, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to learn a little bit more about him. So, this story, a little background of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and why he's so special. Martin Luther King Jr. was a famous civil rights activist. That means he worked hard to make sure all people were treated equally. He was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He helped lead the Montgomery bus boycott after Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man. In 1963, Martin helped organize the March on Washington in Washington, D.C. This was a peaceful gathering of around 250,000 people who wanted equality and justice for African Americans. Martin gave a famous speech called I Have a Dream, which talked about his hope that one day America would be a place where all people would be treated fairly. The next year, in 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed, which made it against the law to treat people differently because of their race, color, gender, or religion. Martin Luther King Jr. was a hero to many people, but not everyone was happy about the changes in the country. Sadly, on April 4th, 1969, Martin was shot and killed while standing on a hotel balcony. Today we honor his life and the way that he helped make America a better place by celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day each January. On your worksheet, you're going to, first it says, answer the questions below and underline your evidence. So what I want you to do is when you answer a question, I want you to go back to the story and underline where you found the answer in the story. Before I read the questions, Jake wanted to say hi to everybody. So here's my son, Jake. Jake, say hi. He's very loving. He's my little silly boy. Okay, go sit down. Okay. Let's get on with the questions. What is a civil rights activist? So what you need to do is go back to the story where it tells us what a civil rights activist is, underline what a civil rights activist is, and then write on your paper what a civil rights activist is. And it says to underline it with blue, but really if you just use a pencil for the whole worksheet, that's fine. Number 2, what was the name of Martin's famous speech? Find the evidence in the article, underline it, and then in a complete sentence, write the name of Martin's famous speech. And finally, name 2 famous events in history that Martin was part of. So go back to the story, find 2 famous events in history that he was part of, underline them, and then write in a complete sentence what they were called right here. And then the bottom of the page, tell about a time you felt treated unfairly. So it could be a time when you thought that you got in trouble when you shouldn't have, or a time when your friends weren't being fair to you. Just tell about a time you felt unfairly. All right, you guys are going to do awesome work. Like and subscribe.